So you're thinking about moving to the Seattle area, and maybe you're considering moving north of Seattle in Snohomish County. In this video, I'm going to go over all the pros and cons of living in Snohomish County. As always, I'm Bryce Greenleaf, local real estate agent here in the greater Seattle area. I love helping you guys out, those of you that reach out to me here from YouTube when you're relocating over here, or you already live in the Seattle area and you're looking to purchase a home. It's a joy to be able to help you out and make that move and find the right place for you to live. So if that sounds like you, if you're planning to move over here or maybe you already live in the area and you're looking to buy a home, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. But like I said, this video is going to be about Snohomish County and what it might be like to live there. As we've talked a lot on these videos about the greater Seattle area, and that really encompasses 3 different counties. Seattle Metropolitan does. That's King County right in the middle, which is where Seattle is and Bellevue is. Then you have Pierce County to the south, and you have Snohomish County to the north. Now, Snohomish County is an extremely popular destination for people that are moving over here and they don't want to be right in the city. They don't want to be right in Seattle or Bellevue. Snohomish County becomes a very, very popular destination. Now, there's a lot of cities in Snohomish County too, so you can be on the south side or the north side of the county and feel like 2 completely different things and give you 2 different types of lifestyles. So we're going to dive into that and break it down a bit. Now, to lay the groundwork here, I've just got 4 pros and 4 cons to expand upon and give you an idea of what this area is like. So the first pro is Snohomish County really feels like a very clean area, maybe as opposed to some of the other areas south of Seattle. Now, this isn't just my opinion. I hear this from people all the time when they're coming over here and they're looking for somewhere to live that's not right in King County. That's not Seattle, that's not Bellevue. And they're exploring, okay, should we go north to Snohomish County or should we go south to Pierce County? I hear it time and time again that they feel Snohomish County provides a little bit better of an atmosphere. And it provides a little bit more of a clean place to live as opposed to some of the cities on the south side of Seattle. Now, that doesn't encompass all the cities north and south. Like, there's outliers in each area for sure. But in general, on average, that's what I hear from a lot of people when they are making that move over here. So keep that in mind. Now, those home prices are going to reflect that as well. Home prices up north in Snohomish County are more expensive than the home prices down south in King County. And that's con number 1 here. Sorry, not King County, Pierce County. That's con number 1 here is, yes, the home prices in Snohomish County, they're going to be a little bit higher than if you're going south of Seattle and you're going into South King or Pierce County, something like that. Now, if you compare Snohomish County to the east side, when we've got cities like Bellevue and Kirkland and Redmond, where those median home prices are $1.5 million, Snohomish County is a lot cheaper. And many of the cities in Snohomish County are cheaper than Seattle. If you're on the south side of Snohomish County, you have cities like Edmonds and Linwood and Mount Lake Terrace and Bothell and Mill Creek. Most of those median price points are going to be between $850 and about $1 million. $1 million for the, Edmonds, Bothell are going to be closer to $1 million, and the other ones are going to be closer to $850, $900 or so for those median price points. As you go further up north, you've got cities like Everett and Snohomish and Lake Stevens and Marysville and Arlington, and those median home prices are going to drop quite a bit more as you start to go up that way. And they could be anywhere from $850 to $650 for those median home prices, especially as you get into Marysville and Arlington and it starts to get a bit cheaper. So that's another big reason people have moved up there, is because of those home prices being cheaper than Seattle or those east side cities, but not necessarily cheaper than the Pierce County cities south of Seattle, really South King County and Pierce County. Pro number 2 is the amount of small town suburbs Snohomish County really offers. Now, I hear pretty often when people are moving over here that they have no desire to live an urban lifestyle. They don't want to live in the city. They want somewhere with maybe a little bit more land. Maybe you want half an acre or an acre or a 5-acre property, but you don't want to live a super rural lifestyle either. You don't want to be way out in the middle of nowhere feeling like you're living in the woods. You still want amenities close by and kind of a smaller town feel. And Snohomish County has multiple options that kind of offer that. Snohomish is one of those options. Yes, there is a city in Snohomish County called Snohomish. Snohomish has a pretty robust historic downtown area, lots of cool shops and restaurants, and then outside of downtown, you've got some immediate neighborhoods that will give you very close proximity. Then as you go further and further out, you'll get more and more land, and it starts to feel more and more rural or more country. And so a lot of people are moving into Snohomish for that reason. Lake Stevens, just north of Snohomish, can give you a similar feel. If you go up north to Arlington, that can also give you a very, very similar feel to Snohomish. So it really provides this mix of a half rural, I call it a semi-rural lifestyle or semi-suburban lifestyle, where you're kind of mixing suburban and rural a little bit and getting the best of both worlds. And there's a number of suburbs in Snohomish County that are going to offer that. Like I mentioned, primarily Snohomish, Arlington, Lake Stevens, and some of those on the very north side. And you can throw Stanwood in there as well. Now, con number 2 here is kind of the trade-off. Not as close to the highest paying jobs. Now, not to say there aren't high paying and good jobs in Snohomish County. There certainly are. There's a lot of job opportunities in Snohomish County. But when we talk about the highest paying job opportunities in this area, most of them are in King County. We're talking about the Amazon, the Google, the Microsoft offices, GoDaddy, Facebook, a lot of the healthcare jobs. A lot of that is centered in King County, and much of it on the east side in King County, places like Bellevue and Redmond and Kirkland. Now, the drawback to living in Snohomish County, if you're taking a job in the King County area, is then you have to deal with commute and traffic, and that's not always fun, especially around here. We do have bad traffic. Again, that's subjective. It depends where you come from. People in California tell me we don't have that bad of traffic because they live in LA or the Bay Area. And then people come from Utah and can't believe how bad our traffic is. So it's all about perspective as well. But we do have worse traffic than most anywhere else in the U.S., and so you just have to keep that in mind. If you're going to be taking a job in King County on the east side, where really the highest paying jobs are, and you're living in Snohomish County, you will have to factor in those commute times. You don't want to live on the north side of Snohomish County, like Arlington, and work down in Seattle or down in Bellevue. There are people that do it. I know people that make that drive. I wouldn't do it. It's miserable. It's a long drive in those rush hour times. So just keep that in mind. That's certainly a factor. Now, there's plenty of people that live in Snohomish County, and they either work in Snohomish County or they work remote, or if they work down south in Seattle or Bellevue, they're living on the south side of Snohomish County, and now that commute isn't nearly as bad. We're talking about cities like Edmonds and Bothell and Linwood, right on the south side of Snohomish County, and then you can get into Seattle or Bellevue without too much traffic. You're really cutting that commute way down, as opposed to going up to the north side of Snohomish County. So a lot of people kind of settle into that South Snohomish County area and end up having jobs in King County and making that commute a little bit easier for them. All right, pro number 3 is all the recreation in Snohomish County. It's an absolutely beautiful area. You've got the Puget Sound to the west, the Cascade Mountain Ranges to the east. Really sets up some beautiful scenery, great sunsets and sunrises, and just a beautiful place to live. Now, the further out you live, the further of the more rural areas that you live in, the more beautiful scenery you're going to get, of course. But there's so much recreation around here. You are on the Puget Sound. Let's just start on the west side. You're on the Puget Sound, so you have a lot of great beaches, from Edmonds to Mukilteo up to Stanwood, Camano Island area up there. A lot of great beaches along the Puget Sound that are very wonderful. You can take the ferry over for some day trips. So if you want to go to Whidbey Island, or you want to go over to Kingston, there's so many places that you can go from those ferry stops. And there's Edmonds and Mukilteo, the 2 ferry stops there in Snohomish County, and it just provides opportunities for some quick day trips or some quick weekend trips if you like to get out and about. As we start moving further east, we have a number of lakes in Snohomish County, so there's no shortage of being able to go swimming at a lake, take your kids, go have a picnic by the lake, launch your boat or kayak or paddleboard or jet skis. We've got Lake Stevens in the city of Lake Stevens. We've got Lake Washington is accessible to South Snohomish County for sure, anywhere in Snohomish County, depending on how far you want to drive. But South Snohomish County gets pretty close to butting up with Lake Washington. You have to go right into King County to get there, but it's close by. You have some smaller lakes like Blackman's Lake in Snohomish. You have Martha Lake in Linwood. You have Lake Goodwin up in Stanwood, which is a good-sized lake itself for boats and whatnot. And so there's a lot of water recreation in Snohomish County. And then as you start going further east, you get closer to the Cascade Mountain Ranges. We have beautiful, beautiful, again, mountain ranges and trails and places to go hiking and mountain biking and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. Snowshoeing, skiing, snowboarding. If you want to go out to Stevens Pass, it's a great, great place to be if you enjoy outdoor recreation. Con number 3 here is almost no nightlife at all in Snohomish County. Snohomish County is not geared towards an urban environment, a super young demographic, so there's not a lot of nightlife opportunities. This really depends what your definition of nightlife is. I would say there's no nightlife opportunities in Snohomish County when it comes to clubs and things like that. There's bars, of course, everywhere. No matter what city you're in, you're going to have bars and places where you can go at night and have a drink and have fun. Like, we certainly go out and do that. Some of these small towns, these smaller historic downtown areas, you're going to have places like that all over the place, bars and whatnot, to enjoy yourself and hang out. But in terms of like the city life, nightlife, urban kind of stuff, like downtown Seattle or a little bit of downtown Bellevue offer, you're not going to find that in Snohomish County. So just keep that in mind. All right, the last pro here, pro number 4, is just the overall convenience and shopping in Snohomish County. Snohomish County is right along I-5, so you can get, like I said, back and forth from Seattle pretty easily because you are centrally located for the most part when you're in Snohomish County. There's great shopping centers all over the place. The 2 biggest ones in Snohomish County are probably the Alderwood Mall in Linwood, which is kind of the biggest mall outside of Bellevue. Bellevue Mall and Alderwood Mall right there, the 2 with each other that are pretty big here in the Seattle metropolitan area, a couple down south too. But in terms of up north here, the biggest mall in the area is where I grew up shopping, and my wife still takes me there sometimes against my will. But outside of the Alderwood Mall there, you have the outlet malls further north in Marysville. So as you go up I-5 further, you've got the outdoor collection of outlets. And again, a super popular and busy place to get some good deals on clothes and whatnot. So there's a couple of really great shopping centers for that kind of stuff. And then there's restaurants everywhere. There's all your typical stores and groceries and all that kind of stuff, doctor's offices. I mean, Snohomish County is a very, very robust area. And so everything that you need is within Snohomish County, multiple different hospitals, and it's a really great area for convenience. All right, the last con here, con number 4, is the proximity to the airport. Now, this does become an issue. I personally live in Snohomish County, and I get frustrated by this. Now, I don't fly a lot. I'll fly maybe a few times a year at the most, but those few times I get pretty frustrated. So our main airport is SeaTac Airport down south of Seattle in SeaTac. Now, this is, obviously domestic flights, all your international flights. This is the most robust airport in the area. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to need to go to SeaTac when you're flying out. And this can be, if you're going during the weekday when people are going to and from work and you're going from Snohomish County down to SeaTac, it's not fun to drive down there. So the alternative to that is you take the light rail, which is what I've ended up doing a couple of times. Have somebody bring you to the light rail or take an Uber to the light rail and then take the train all the way down to the airport, which is a great way to kind of ease some of that pain. And then you have long wait times often at SeaTac because it's such a large airport, just issues that are associated with that. So it's a trek to get to and from the airport when you're in Snohomish County. Now, there is a good alternative in Everett in Snohomish County, the epicenter of Snohomish County in Everett. We have Payne Field, which recently, over the last few years, opened up for domestic flights. There's like 8 or 10 locations it goes to. It goes to like 4 of the California airports, I think Orange County, San Diego, LAX, and one other one, San Francisco maybe. And it goes to Vegas, it goes to Phoenix, it goes to a couple other spots. So if you're going to those 8 or 10 locations, you want to go to Payne Field because it's a very easy airport in and out of, amazing experience, love it to death. But unless you're going to those 8 spots, then you got to go down to SeaTac, and that's where that trouble comes in, where you really have to plan ahead, and it takes quite a bit longer to get to the airport than through the airport. So just keep that in mind. But really, this wraps up Snohomish County. In general, I find a lot of people that are relocating here from out of state, and they're not looking to live in a totally urban lifestyle. They're looking to live in the suburbs or a rural lifestyle. I find a lot of people end up in Snohomish County. They really love what it has to offer. So if that sounds like you, if if you're planning to relocate over here, or maybe you already live here, like I said, but you're planning to relocate and you need some help on figuring out where to live and where the best spot would be for you and to find that right house to purchase, feel free to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you with that. Thanks for watching this one.